Hello everyone, I am Anisha. Welcome all of you to my channel, that is virtual classes. So in this class we are going to continue your chapter number 3. We have already completed the first part of this chapter, so this is the second part. If you haven't watched the first part, kindly watch that part and after that you watch this one, okay, so that you will understand better. So the name of this chapter is Mindful Eating, a part to a healthy body. So in our previous class we have explored about foods and the practices of cooking and the foods in which are traditional food of different regions, okay, and the crops grown on a different region based on the climatic conditions and all. And we have also started learning about the components of food, that is we have learned about the major nutrients of our food, that is carbohydrates, protein, fats, isn't it? So here in this class we are going to continue about learning the components of the food only, okay, that is vitamin and minerals. So before that there is an activity, let us do that. And there is a chart here, okay, in this chapter, in this today's part there is a chart of all the vitamins, their deficiency, their symptoms, their name of the disease, their functions, okay, and what are the sources through which you can incur, you can cure the diseases. All right, so the chart that we are going to do today is very important, okay, so please listen very carefully. And yes, don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Please give a like as soon as you watch this video, okay. So let us start. So the activity is study the chart given in figure 3.5, that is we are going to study, okay, to explore the functions and sources of various food components. And here basically we are going to explore about vitamins and minerals, okay. So find out more sources of vitamins and minerals. Also understand the symptoms of the disease caused by the lack of these food components. So we are also going to learn the disease, okay, which has been caused due to the deficiency of certain vitamins, okay, and certain foods. So visit your neighborhood, interact with people and find out if any individual shows the symptoms listed on the chart. An investigatory project of this kind can be taken by the students under the guidance of a teacher. So under the guidance of your teacher, okay, or you can take your parents along with you or your elder brother or sister with you, and you can do this survey, okay, just for like out of curiosity also you can just do, and you can interact with your neighborhoods and you can ask them, okay, about whether they have any of the symptoms that we are going to, which we are going to study the chart here, okay. Are they suffering from any of the symptoms, and what are the eating and what should they eat? You should also suggesting them, okay. So correlate the symptoms with their diet and identify the deficiency, disease or disorder. So you have to correlate the symptoms which they will be telling you, okay, or about the diet which they are telling you, and try to understand that and try to give them some suggestion also, okay, like okay, you can include this food in your diet so that you can cure this disease very quickly. For example, if they are suffering from bleeding gums or anything, then you can suggest them to have lemon, orange, amla regularly so that they can cure the disease, okay. So suggest the possible cause for the symptoms and observe and changes required in the diet for improvement. So that is what I have just told you, okay. You suggest some possible causes for the symptoms, okay, like why they are having that symptoms, and also ask them to change their diet for betterment, okay, for better improvement. And also you can suggest certain foods item also, okay, that they can include in their diet, and also suggest them to visit a doctor for further advice. So and for any further advice you ask them to visit the doctor if their symptoms is serious, okay. If the symptom is not that very serious, then you can suggest them food to eat, okay. So this is the chart, so which we are going to do here. This is very important, okay, and this is important from your exam point of view also. You will be getting so many questions from this chart only, okay. Your objective types, fill in the blanks and certain other questions, 1 marks, 2 marks questions, okay. So this chart is very much important. So here food components are given, that is vitamins or minerals, okay, and their functions, okay, what are their functions for in our body, and their sources through which you can get those vitamins, okay, and the deficiency or disease or disorder, the name of the deficiency or their disease name, and the symptoms which your body will be showing if you lack them, okay. So let us start. So first it is vitamin A, okay. So vitamin A, what is its function? It keeps our eyes and skin healthy. Okay, so that is why we are being suggested to take this papaya, carrot, mango, milk, and also green leafy vegetables. Okay, you have to include this in your diet if you want a very healthy eyes and healthy skin. Okay, and what is the deficiency? Loss of vision. If you have a deficiency of vitamin A, then your skin condition will also be not good, very good, and you will having a very poor vision and sometimes loss of vision as well. So symptoms are poor vision, loss of vision in darkness, especially in darkness, okay, which we call night blindness, and sometimes complete loss of vision. So if you lack vitamin A, what will happen? There will be poor vision, and especially in the dark you will not be able to see things properly. Okay, which we call as night blindness. Sometimes we have this color blindness and all, isn't it? So that includes under this. And sometimes we will again be complete loss of vision if there is a major deficiency of vitamin A. So you have to include certain food items, certain food sources which are rich in vitamin A. Okay, next we have vitamin B1, and this keeps our heart healthy and supports body to perform various functions. So it keeps our heart healthy and also support our body to function various activities which is needed for our daily activities like walking, talking, doing things, isn't it? So for that we need vitamin B1. So this you will be getting from legumes, that means your pulses, okay, nuts, whole grains, seeds, milk and milk products. Okay, and the deficiency, the disease name, okay, is beriberi. All right, so you have to remember these names. Okay, and what are the possible symptoms? Swelling, tingling or burning sensation in feet and hands, trouble in breathing. So you'll be having a burning sensation in your feet as well as hand, like it will be very hot. Okay, your hands and feet will be sometimes very hot and you will feel very uneasy in breathing also. Okay, so these are its symptoms. Next, let us see vitamin C. Okay, vitamin C we have already done in your case also, isn't it? So this helps body to fight disease. So the rich source of vitamin C are amla, guava, green chilies, orange and lemon. Okay, and the disease name is scurvy, the deficiency of vitamin C. If you have a deficiency of vitamin C, you will suffer from the disease scurvy. Okay, and the symptoms are bleeding gums, slow healing of wounds, and your wounds, if you are get cut by anything, then your wounds will also be healing very slowly. So you need to intake vitamin C in your diet. Okay, and next we have vitamin D. Vitamin D, it helps absorb calcium for bones and teeth health. So this is basically related with our bone health, okay, and teeth. And this we can get from exposure to sunlight, milk, butter, fish and eggs. And yes, regarding the sunlight, not there is a timing. Okay, the morning sunlight are best for vitamin D, and when you are exposed to sunlight, what will happen? Your body will naturally produce this vitamin D. Okay, and the disease caused by the deficiency of this vitamin D is rickets. Okay, that means soft and boned bends, means your bones will be very soft and your body will be somewhat bending. Your structure of the structure of the bones are not very strong, what will happen? Your body will start shrinking and bending. Okay, which will, your posture will look very bad. So we need to include this vitamin D, okay, in our diet. Next we have calcium. So this calcium and iodine and iron, okay, which we have, these are minerals. Okay, until this vitamin D, these were the vitamins, and now we are doing about minerals. Okay, calcium. So this again keeps bones and teeth healthy. So it is very good for our bones and our teeth. Okay, so sometime when we have some calcium deficiency and all, we are suggested to take the calcium tablet, isn't it, once in a day. That is to make our bones strong, and we can get these naturally from sources like milk, soya milk, curd, cheese and paneer. And what is the symptom, a disease here? Bones and tooth decay. So your teeth will start in decaying, okay, if there is a lack of calcium. And the symptoms are weak bones and tooth decay. Okay, so this is about calcium. Next we have iodine. Okay, so iodine also we have studied in that one of the case in our previous classes, isn't it? I hope you remember that one. So this iron helps to perform physical and mental activity. So iodine help to perform physical and mental activities. So the rich source of iodines are seaweeds, water chestnuts, which we call singhara also, and iodized salt. And the disease which we suffer with the deficiency of iodine is goitre, as we have already done, isn't it? So swelling at the front of the neck. So we will having a swelling of the front of the neck if there is a deficiency of iodine, and these deficiencies are mainly on the Himalayan region and the northern India, isn't it, if we talk about the Indian country. So it is because of the lack of iodine in the soil and water of this area. So in order to cope up, in order to cure this disease, what is being needed? We have to take iodized salt. So iodized salt, okay, is being mixed with a common salt with the right quantity. So that will help us preventing this disease. Okay. So next, last one, we have iron. So iron is an important component of our blood. Okay. So we get iron from green leafy vegetables, beetroot and pomegranate, and there are certain other sources also. Okay, you can find about it. And the disease which is caused by the deficiency of these iron is anemia. Okay, and this is weakness. You will be feeling very weak, and always you will be feeling dizzy. Okay, and there will be shortness of breath also. So it is very much important to include iron in your diet, okay, in order to keep your body fit and healthy. So these were the certain vitamins and minerals, okay, that we should be including those things in our daily diet in order to remain healthy. Okay, so I hope you have understood this one, and please read the chart again properly, okay, and try to understand them and try to remember the names, okay, the deficiency, the diseases of these the vitamins. So now again let us continue about it. From figure 3.5, you have learned that vitamins, that is A, B1 and C and D, and minerals, that is calcium, iodine and iron, are two groups of food components that protect our bodies from various diseases. So these are two groups of food components, okay, which protects our body from various diseases, as we have already seen, isn't it? So but how can we overcome with vitamin and mineral deficiency disease or disorder? So how can we overcome? By eating good sources of those vitamins and minerals, including good sources of those vitamins and minerals in our diet. So some sources of vitamin A and vitamin B1, vitamin C, vitamin D, it is given here, okay, which we have already done, like vitamin A, mango, carrot, papaya, milk, okay. And this milk is very much important for our body, all right, and including the fruits. Here vitamin B1 you can get from seeds like flax seeds, wheat, rice, pumpkin seeds, paneer and milk. And the vitamin C, you have orange, guava, green chili, tomato, amla. These are all rich source of vitamin C, okay. And here vitamin D, we have eggs and exposure to sunlight also, okay, and edible mushrooms, butter, fish and milk, okay. These are some of the good sources of vitamin D vitamins. So now, food components that provides energy, support growth, help repair and protect our body from disease and maintain various bodily functions are called nutrients, okay. So we have learned about nutrients. So what were the major nutrients that we have learned? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, okay. So these food components, okay, these food components all together, they provide an energy in our body, they support our growth of our body, and also help repairing and protect our body from various disease, maintaining our bodily function also, okay. It helps us doing our daily activities. These are called nutrients, okay, nutrients. So the major nutrients in our food includes carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals. So you have to include all these things in your diet daily, but in a right quantity. You should not be overeating, okay. That is why the name of this chapter is mindful eating. You have to eat according to the need of your body, you should not be overeating it, okay. You should eat the right amount of food, and you should include all these things in your diet, okay. These things means your carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals. And we, now I hope now you know from which sources we can get this carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals. It is given on in your books also, in the pictures also, okay. You can see that. And vitamins and minerals are also called protective nutrients. And why they are called protective nutrients? Because these nutrients protect our body from diseases and keeps us healthy. So these vitamins and minerals, okay, they are called protective nutrients. Why they are called protective nutrients? Because these nutrients protect our body from various diseases, like what we have just seen in the chart, that is scurvy, rickets, goitre, anemia, isn't it? It helps us fight all those diseases. So that is why your parents may have advised you to have milk, green vegetables, fruits and whole grains regularly. So, and you should be listening to them also, okay, and you should be including all these things in your diet in a regular basis. So these food items are some sources of vitamins. and minerals. So these are which we have just studied. Okay, these are those food items. Okay, some sources of vitamins and minerals. Although vitamins and minerals are required in small amount, they are essential to keep our body healthy. Although these vitamins and minerals, we require them in a very small quantity, okay, but it is necessary for our body to keep our body healthy and fit. So what differences do you observe in a raw and a cooked vegetable? See, raw vegetables and cooked vegetables. So have you ever noticed that vegetables sometimes lost their bright color or become softer and less crisp when cooked? So this is what we observe, isn't it? Or if you haven't observed, try to observe when your parents are cooking in the kitchen. Go there and see them vegetables cut, which they used to cut the raw vegetables properly. Touch them, okay, touch them and feel them. And after when they have cooked, you again see the differences in the color. The raw vegetables are usually bright in colors and very crisp and little bit hard also, okay. So but when they are cooked, they become very soft, and their color, they lost their color also, because we'll be cooking in oil, when we'll be adding so many other masala and everything, isn't it? So it changes those food, okay. So try to observe that one, okay. And in that case, what happened when we cooked certain fruit, certain vegetables, what happens, some nutrients like vitamin C and other are lost during cooking due to high heat. So especially vitamin C, okay, when you start cooking them, you will be there, the vitamin C will be lost, okay. But would it not be wise to include fruits and uncooked vegetables in our diet? So uncooked vegetables here means like salad, okay, your cucumber and all, you have to include your fruits and all, you have to, that is why we are being suggested to take fruits daily, so that we can get the maximum vitamins, okay, maximum nutrients from there. So washing cut or peeled vegetables and fruits may also result in the loss of some vitamins. So when we wash vegetable, and it is not possible for us to cook vegetables without washing, or eating fruits without washing it. Why? Because in today's day we cannot get organic vegetables, isn't it? All the vegetables and fruits which is available in the market are full of chemicals, and they are grown using fertilizers and chemicals only, and that is the harsh reality of today's day, okay. But so in order to wiped out those chemicals, especially in grapes, when you buy grapes, what happens, there is white patches there, isn't it? Why? Because it is been dipped into certain chemicals to make them fresh for longer period of time. So what you should do, you should be washing them properly with water, adding salt in it, okay, adding salt in it. You have to keep those fruits for some time, especially these grapes and all, okay. You can keep them overnight also in the case of grapes, okay, and you can wash it out properly tomorrow with again another clean water, and only then you should be eating it. You should never be eating unwashed one, though there is a loss of some vitamins, but it is not good for our health also, okay. We'll be attacked by certain disease. However, it is highly recommended that all fruits and vegetables should be thoroughly washed before consumption. So that is what just I have told you, and I have given the reason also, isn't it? So I hope you have understood. So here now let us see some convocations of these children's here, okay. Do we obtain all nutrients from plants and animals? So these boys asking, okay, do we obtain all the nutrients from plants and animals only? So here Medhu replied, nutrients, no. Nutrients like salt can be obtained from the seawater or from rocks. So she is saying that we can obtain salt, okay, nutrients like salt and all, it can be obtained from seawater and from rocks, okay. And also she is adding, also vitamin D can be naturally produced by our body upon exposure to sunlight. So we can produce, our body can naturally produce vitamin D if we are exposed to sunlight, that is usually the morning sunlight, okay, and it is very good for our health, okay. So let us continue. So now let us next let us learn about some fiber food, okay, fibers food and some roughage, that is fibers which means roughage only, okay, and why we should include this in our diet. Fiber foods and water also, why we should include this in our diet, and what is its important, okay, and how these are playing in making our body healthy, what is their role. So fruits and vegetables are rich in dietary fibers. Let us see how dietary fibers are beneficial for us. So now let us see their importance, okay. In addition to the essential nutrients that which we have already studied, okay, our body needs dietary fibers and water. And why? Dietary fibers are also known as roughage, do not provide any nutrients to our body. Though they do not provide any nutrients to our body, why we need them? However, they are an essential component of our food. They help our body get rid of undigested food and ensure smooth passage of stool. So roughage in our food is provided mainly by suitable plants product. So although this roughage, okay, they do not provide any nutrients to our body, okay, but our body needs them, okay. It is an essential component of our body, for our body. These are essential component of food for our body, okay. And why? Because with the help of this roughage, what will happen? We can get rid of the undigested food. See, when we eat food, as much as the body needs, it will be consuming all the foods, okay, but there will be some wastage, that is the undigested food, which the body will not be able to digest, okay. So that will be wastage, and that will be passed through our excreta, okay, from through excretion, not excreta, excretion, okay. So, and in order to ensure a smooth passage of stools from our body, okay, through the process of excretion, what we should include? We should include roughage in our diet, especially from plant products, okay. So we will see some sources of this roughage also. So I hope you now understand why you should include fibers and fibrous food and roughage in your diet, okay. So here this again boy is saying, my grandma has difficulty in passing stool. Now I understand why the doctor advised her to eat food that is high in fiber. So now this boy is thinking, okay, her grandma was being suggested to take food which is high in fiber because she was having difficulty in passing the stool. But now he said, okay, I understand, now she was being advised to take food which is high in fiber, so that she will be easily able to pass the stool. There will be no constipation in her body, okay. So we can get these sources from green leafy vegetables, okay, and fresh fruits, whole grains, pulses and nuts are also source of fibers. And eating food that is locally grown and plant-based to the extent that possible is not only healthy for our body, but is also good for our environment and our planet. So here, what does it mean? It means that eating food which are locally grown, means which are grown in our kitchen garden only, locally grown, okay, and plant-based especially, and these are very much healthy for our body. Why? Because all those foods will be organic food, where we will be growing them without using any kind of chemicals, isn't it? We will be using only organic manure. So that is why it is not only good for our body, it is good for our environment and plant as well. Why environment and plant here? Because see, when we are planting certain vegetables and all, and if this has been done for commercial purpose, okay, for in a large farm, what they will be doing? They'll be spreading chemicals, they'll be spreading fertilizers and all these things, isn't it? So the result, what will be the result? There will be loss of soil degradation, okay. There will be, the soil will lose certain nutrients, important nutrients. So that is why if we grow vegetables naturally by using organic manure and all, what will happen? It is good, it is very much good for our body and health, as well as it is very much good for the environment and our planet also, okay. So I hope you have understood that one. So now let us see why we should include water in our diet. So water is also an essential part of our diet. It helps the body absorb nutrients from food. It removes waste from the body through sweats and urine. So we should drink sufficient water regularly to keep ourselves healthy. So this water, it is a very essential part of our diet, and that is why we are being advised to drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water a day. So that doesn't mean that you will be drinking all the 2 liters at one time, at one go. You should be drinking water, little water, okay, at a regular interval of time. Why? Because it removes wastage from our body, okay, in the form of sweat and through urination. All right, it purifies our body. So that is why, and for our health of our skin also, for if you want a very good skin, it has been advised us to take drink water very regularly, isn't it? If you don't want your skin to be very dry and patchy, so we should be drinking water for that, okay, for our body. So what are the food sources that provides water to our body? List a few of them. So here we are simply talking about the regular water, okay, the common water, but there are certain food sources, okay, through which we can get water also, like your watermelon, isn't it, your orange and your strawberry, okay. These are all certain foods, okay, through which we can get water, okay. So next, let us see, okay, now let us learn about a scientist here, okay, and a famous scientist here who have contributed in who has been contributed in analyzing various nutrients in our food, especially in Indian context, Indian food, okay. So here Kolather Gopalan, okay, which he was born in 1918 and he died on 2019. That means he have lived almost more than 100 years, isn't it? 101 years. he must be very healthy, isn't it? So initiated nutrition research in India. So he was the one, okay, who have initiated this nutrition research. Okay, like we have to do this nutrition research properly in our food so that we can advise our population, our people, to intake them in our diet regularly. Okay, so he analyzed more than 500 Indians foods for their nutritional value and recommended an appropriate diet in the Indian context. So he have analyzed more than 500 Indian foods, and we have a very variety of food in our country, isn't it, because of the diversity. So he and also recommended that we should be include appropriate diet, okay, in Indian context. So he, what did he do? He led survey on the nutritional status of the Indian population, identifying widespread deficiencies in protein, energy and other food components. So what happens when he did survey, he came to know that, okay, there is a major deficiency in the Indian population regarding this protein in their body, okay, and especially in their food intake, okay, they are not taking a proper amount of protein and energy deficient. Because of that, there will be deficiency in energy and other food components. So what happened, these led to the implementation of the midday meal program in 2002, now a PM Poshan initiative, to provide balanced food in our government run and government aided school of our country. So this scheme has played a role in improving the health and nutrition of millions of children nationwide. So what happens when he found that there is a major deficiency in the Indian population? So and one of the reason for that is that our India, okay, in our country, more than half of the populations are living below poverty line, okay, because of which they cannot afford to take fruits and vegetables regularly, and they cannot afford to take proteins and all, because in order to intake all those things in our diet, we need money, isn't it? So as they are very poor, as they barely get one time food, so in that situation it is not possible for them to make their body very healthy and nutritive. So for that purpose, what happened, the midday meal, okay, the midday meal program was included in our school. That is why the children from the age of from class 1 to 14, they can get the free education, and with that free education, what happens, they have included this free meal also, and this is been done in order to increase their attendance also. And with that meal, okay, their parents will be thinking that, okay, they can get proper diet in this. If they send their children to school, then what happens, their children will be healthy, and with that healthy, what will happen, their children will be again educated also. So there are 2 to 3 purpose which has been solved, okay, because of that thing. So that is why especially this has been done in the government run school only, because this is the school where these poor children are studying, okay, and they are very happy to get this meal, because at their home they will never be eating such a tasty foods. And yes, consider yourself very lucky that you eat whatever you wanted and your parents are giving everything, okay. So there are still so many children in our country who doesn't get enough food to eat. So, and again, they are not going to school also. Because of that, again, they will not be beneficial from this midday meal program and all. But to a very large extent, okay, there is a huge success of this midday meal program, okay, for the little children in our country. So in today's part, okay, we'll do till here, and in our next class, what we will be doing, we will be testing the food components that we have just studied, okay, like we'll be test the food, we'll be taking some samples of the food, and we'll be checking whether there is a presence of carbohydrates, proteins or fats, okay. So we will do that in our next class. I hope you have enjoyed this class. If you have enjoyed this class, then please give me a like and share my channel, and share my channel with your friends, as well as subscribe my channel, okay. All of you have a very nice day ahead. We'll meet you again in my next class with our part 3, third part, and in that part we will complete this chapter, okay. So all of you have a very nice day ahead. Bye.